Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti, your dating and relationship coach for men to help you get the love lives that you deserve and attract that woman that you ultimately want in your life. And in today's video was a highly requested video, and it's going to be about how to have a relationship with a woman after she's been in a narcissistic relationship. The reason why I felt called to do this video is because not only did a lot of you ask for it, but I've had so many clients come to me about attracting a woman into their lives after they've been with a narcissistic. And let's just be honest here. One of the biggest drivers after a woman's been in a narcissistic relationship is she doesn't know what her next move will be. And you might be that guy that wants to be the right guy for her and is just right in her face screaming basically, I am better than the guy that you had before. And you come to this video wondering, why in the hell is she not choosing me? I'm going to talk about that in this video. But before we get started, if this is your first time visiting, hit the subscribe button so you can get notified every time that I post a new video. Now, I made a video recently about what a narcissistic person is, and I'll help you understand that. Even though it was about a woman, it generates for both men and women. But because I'm in the field for you men, I made a video about what is a narcissistic woman. And please, I'll put that in the description box above so you can get familiar with those traits so you understand that relationship that she suffered from and healing from. So tip number one is, if you are a man that is attracted to a woman that is in this narcissistic relationship or has came out of this narcissistic relationship, you need to give her time. Not only do you need to give her time, but you need to show that you are not 100% available for her, because you have to challenge her for her to see you in a different light. Because right now she's feeling as though she might be bored with you. Women are addicted to these behaviors of a narcissistic after they get out of the relationship because of the fact that they are addicted to these highs and lows that man was able to offer her. Meaning that the fact that he told her he loved her but then pushed away. But then the sex was great and then she doesn't know what to do because she's not excited when she sees you like she was excited with that guy in the past with the narcissistic. But here's the thing. Those are unhealthy patterns that she's going to have to identify. No matter how much that you tell her the reasons of why she is addicted to him and not you, you will ultimately fall into the friend zone, which leads me into tip number two. If you are attracted to this woman and you want to end up hopefully having a relationship or somewhat of a relationship with her, then you need to be able to take the time and not talk about that other man with her. You might feel like you need to be her knight in shining armor and save her, but no man wants to save a woman, especially if she's unhealthy. Because think of it like this. If you were to save her right now, she's going to be in that relationship with you. And then 4 or 5 or 6 months down the line, something's going to snap in her and say, I have to break up with you because I'm not over my past relationship. And this ultimately will ruin you and hurt you even more. So you don't want to be that man to save a woman, because the only person that can save them is themselves. You might be thinking, well, how she might forget about me if I'm not her friend. No. If you make a lasting impression and attract her and she is engaging with you and reciprocating during this process of maybe she wants something with you but isn't ready, then she is not going to forget about you. The more you hold yourself to your potential and powerful in your eyes, she is going to be attracted to that. You have to think of things that you can do differently and that you can push her to take the area of personal growth to get over this man. So meaning, even if she wants to be with you and you know she's not in a healthy place, give her that time, just like I was saying in tip number one. Tip number three. A lot of men do this and you are not out to save her. Tip number three is you are out to save her. No, you're not. Plain and simple. You are not out to save her. You are not going to be her knight in shining armor, because just like I explained in tip number two, that will happen to you. And I've seen it so much. I've had clients come to me and say, Apollonia, like, how do I get her back? And then they fall into this zone of getting her back and they ultimately fail again because they're not following the steps that I gave them. You will know when this woman has been healed because she will show up in a different light and as a different person. Typically, a woman is going to play the victim mode, meaning you're too good for me, I don't deserve you, and then you're going to easily fall into that trap of being that person like her knight in shining armor. But ultimately, you're going to end up getting hurt in the long run. And it's not to say that she's a narcissistic herself, but she has adapted to some narcissistic tendencies. And that comes off as being the victim mode, saying you're too good for her or whatever that may be, because she's at the time where her self-esteem might be at an all-time low because of what this relationship has done to her and what she's suffered from. So time, again, goes back to tip number 1. Tip number 4, I hope I'm following the tips right, sorry guys if I'm not, is she needs to forgive herself. This is huge in the recovery process. A lot of women think that they can just go into another relationship and they're ultimately going to be healed, but that's not the case, because your wounds are always going to follow you into the next relationship if you don't work on healing those wounds that you have discovered within you. And that means for you that are watching and the woman that you want that probably has been in this narcissistic relationship, give her time to heal and to forgive herself. And maybe, and this is the key point, men, I have had several clients that have had tremendous success of being with that woman and forcing her to really evolve into someone that he sees that she could be. And the reason being is because they take accountability to say and put themselves up here and hold themselves to a pedestal and say, if you want to be with me, you have to be here. That doesn't mean that you're going to say that, but here's what it does mean. Telling the woman that she needs to heal and forgive herself in the process, and then to come to you when she's ready, is going to be significant, because it holds yourself to a value, and you're setting yourself to a standard, because she knows that she has to be 100% complete in order to be with you. And that's how you get that healthy, thriving relationship. It doesn't mean that you can't have a healthy, thriving relationship with her. It does, but it's going to take time, it's going to take work, and you have to challenge her to develop and do that personal growth and heal from that relationship. She needs to feel worthy again. If she doesn't feel worthy again, then there's no hope for you. If a woman does not see that she is worthy after this type of relationship, then she is not going to feel good enough for you, and she is not going to ultimately want to be with you. She might say yes now, but eventually she's not going to be happy. And this will just trigger you to not be happy either, and constantly chase this what if thing, but obviously it's internal healing that she needs. Next tip is she's not over him. I'm going to be honest with you, men. When a woman suffers from a narcissistic or abusive relationship, it doesn't take her 1, 2, 3, 4 months to get over it. It can take her anywhere from a year to 3 years to fully heal from a relationship like this, because not only does it have emotional torture on a woman, but it also has a mental emotion that has taken over her that she has to really figure out who she is again. And that takes time, it takes effort, it takes forgiveness, and it takes work. And there's nothing that you can do to make her want you. The only things that you can do in speeding this process up is holding yourself to a pedestal and making sure that you don't give in to those antics of giving her the need, the infection, with the time that she wants it, when giving her the time to call the shots, because it's not going to end up working out for you. And last tip, when she's healed, when she's gotten over him, you need to understand that you cannot be 100% available, because you want to be that man that she continues to work for, that she desires, because this is when the attraction phase comes into play. You want to see that also that she has changed. Give her that time to showcase her change. This is so valuable and this is so important, because at the end of the day, when a woman feels like she has worked for something, it's actually pretty freaking gratifying. And women desire that man more, and that relationship feels more whole to us because it's something that we had to work for. And also it's something that we had to become a better person in order to get that man. So don't think that you have to heal her and you have to be by her side, because ultimately that is what is going to get you into the friend zone. I know this video might be hard to hear for those of you that are going through this, but it's the honest truth. If you find yourself in a relationship and talking to a woman that you really want and desire and find it difficult and don't know what you're doing wrong, I invite you to reach out to me for a private coaching session so we can uncover and see exactly what it is that you're doing wrong, rechange this to eventually attract her into your life. If you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please take the time now to subscribe. And as always, I'm so happy you're here, and I'll see you again in the next video. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.